All right. Hi, everybody. So we're going to get started. Today, you may want to have a couple supplies by you if you have something that you can use. You might want some sort of a blanket. So like it can be like a couch blanket, anything that can be shoved under any body part. And then if you would like a block or a couch cushion or a chair nearby you to hold for stability, that can be kind of helpful in a couple of the balancing postures. Other than that, something to do your yoga on, and you should be good. We're actually going to start in a bit of a yin restorative posture today, just because the seasons are changing and it's made everything feel all wonky. I've worn like 6 different outfits today personally. So we're going to try and hone in on some calming energy before we get started. So if you want to find a comfy seat, whatever that looks like for you, and we'll take a few breaths here, but we're going to add an arm motion into it to begin to, you can either pretend that you're the leaves falling down from the trees, or that you're like gathering all of your chaos so that you can shove it out of your life, whatever you'd prefer. So you can allow your eyes to gently close. And on your inhales, bring your fingertips all the way up to the ceiling. And exhales, roll the hands back like you're doing half of a circle. And then place them on the floor behind your hips, look up. Inhale, arms up towards the ceiling. Exhale, roll the arms behind you, set them by the hips, look up. 3 more. Inhale, shoulders to ears. Exhale, roll them down the back. Take 4 shoulder rolls going backwards. And then you can switch and take a few going forwards. And then give your shoulders a little shake to settle them down. Place left hand by left hip, right arm up and over like you're hugging your ear, trying to get a nice deep side body stretch. We'll hold here for 3 breaths to really bring some deep opening into the side body. Pointing those fingertips towards the opposite wall and breathing into any space that feels tense. Inhale through center and exhale over to the right. Inhale back up. And then we're going to take our goddess arms, and it's the inhale together, arc the back. Exhale, press the chest forward, reach the elbows backwards, trying to keep those elbows level with the shoulders. 5 rounds at your own pace. And then bring the elbows back together, stack left elbow in right. Bring the palms to touch for your eagle arms. Keep those elbows lifted up towards shoulders. Look up to the thumbs. Hold for 3 breaths. Feeling the biceps engage. Release arms out to a T. And then stack your right elbow inside the left, eagle arms on the opposite side. Look at the thumbs. Arms out to a T again, and then bring your right arm up towards the sky and pat yourself on the back. Two options here. Option one, use your left fingertips to pull the right elbows back. Option two, try and take cow face arms where your left hand tucks underneath around the lower back and reaches towards those fingertips. It's okay if they don't hold. Couple of breaths here. And release those arms out towards the sky. And leave the left arm up. Pat yourself on the back. And either pull the elbow back with the right hand or scoop the right hand underneath, reaching towards the left. And release arms out, give them a little wiggle. Pretend you're doing a really cool dance. And we'll come to butterfly now. Soles of the feet together. And create as much width as you need to get down as low as feels comfortable in your hips today. So if you need to move the heels a little further away from the hips, to kind of lean in to the thighs a little bit more. Take an inhale, pull the chest up. Exhale, fold down, staying up on the fingertips. So you've got tented fingertips and you're reaching forward, melting over the legs. And we're gonna hold here for 5 long breaths. Bring the chest up tall and close the knees together, hands by your hips. Take a few supine twists, rocking the knees from side to side. And then align yourself on your mat to find your downward dog, squeezing your fingertips into the mat, pedaling out the feet. Reaching the hips up towards the sky. Doing whatever you need to settle into this posture and begin to open up the body and mind. Lowering your knees to the ground on the next exhale, we'll find child's pose. We're gonna hold child's pose for a minute for a yin posture to deep release the hips before we do some deep stretches. So you may wanna blanket underneath those knees. And if you'd like, you can even bring your knees wider than your mat for a little bit of a wider child's pose that'll help accentuate the hip release a little further. If you're seated, you can come to your wide-legged seated squat. So if you're up on your chair, bring your knees wide, melt the chest forward, reaching towards a tabletop. And I'm gonna put on a timer for a minute. And while you're here, perhaps set an intention for today's practice. Whether that be something that is accentuated by the change in season for you, or something you think the world needs a little bit more of. And just breathe. Allow the chest to melt a little bit deeper as you scoot your arms a little further forwards. For the last couple of breaths here. And then peel the chest off of the mat, coming up onto the hands and knees, finding table, and giving your hips a little sway from side to side. 5 rounds of cat-cow. Inhales, lower the belly, look up. Exhales, tuck the chin, look towards the belly button. If you're seated, hands on your knees, the same arcing and collapsing of the back. And then finding stillness, step those left toes back and stretch out through the calf and ankle, alternating from a totally pointed foot to flexing along the floor, trying to stretch out that leg, the Achilles, and the sole of the foot. Take about 4 on this side and then switch to the right. Coming back to your table, we're gonna do a few, they're kind of hurdling exercises. If you were like warming up to do the hurdles, I promise you don't have to do the hurdles, but they're really good warm-ups for hip openers. So you're gonna take your left leg and lift it up, trying to bring it parallel to the floor, but knowing that it might not get there, and that's okay. And you're gonna open and close 5 times. You should feel some engagement in the left thigh, as well as the left butt cheek. And then once you've done 5, begin to take 5 circles forwards, really extending towards the back, lifting that leg up. My track coach used to call this dog peeing on a fire hydrant, which, while not graceful, is aptly named. Switching to the right leg, lifting and closing. And then taking those 5 circles forwards. And then sit back on the hips for just a moment. Reach those fingertips out in front of you. Feel the elongation in the shoulders and roll your head side to side from temple to temple. And then peel back up into your table. We've got a few more leg lifts. This time we're gonna do our leg circles backwards. So 5 leg circles on the left side backwards. My leg circles start to get a little smaller at this point because my thighs get tired. And then switch to the right. Sway your hips from side to side. And then find stillness in your table before inhaling, right arm to the sky. Exhale, thread right arm under left armpit. Left arm can extend out in front or wrap along the back, reaching for the right thigh. And breathe. If you'd like to begin to bring a deeper twist, you can crawl that right shoulder forward a little bit and open that left shoulder back. It's a very small movement. We don't have a crazy amount of mobility here, or I don't. Next, inhale, right arm to the sky. Exhale, find table. Inhale, left arm up. Exhale, thread the needle. Inhale, left arm to the sky. Exhale, find table, and then on your own breath, come to a comfy seat. We're gonna take a stretch called 90-90, and there's probably a more graceful name for it than that. Essentially, you're trying to bend both of your knees at approximately 90-degree angles. So we'll keep the left leg in front of us, trying to keep it parallel to whichever edge of the mat that you're facing. And then your right leg will go out to the side, also at 90 degrees. So you got this. I keep promising I'm not gonna wear black leggings, and then every day I get dressed in black leggings. Next week, they'll be a different color. You'll be able to see. And then you'll inhale the arms up. Exhale, fold forward, either coming out onto fingertips extended long, or you can come down to the elbows if that's a comfortable reach, and allow yourself to mold forward onto the legs. The important part is not how far down you go, but that you're trying to keep the hips as square as possible with the front leg. And we'll hold here for a few breaths. This stretch should mostly be felt in the left hip flexor on both the inside and the outside. So if you're not feeling a stretch there yet, see if you can lower a little further, or perhaps reach that right leg back a little bit more. And walk yourself back up to sit up tall. And we'll bring the right knee into the sole of the right foot. So we're coming to our seated stag twist. So you've just got these stacked legs at this point. Arms come to goddess. Inhale, sit up tall. Exhale, twist around towards the left-hand side. And perhaps you lower onto hands or forearms. I'll turn around so you can see the other side. And you're coming down into this reclining twist. Raising yourself up onto the hands and slowly walking yourself forwards. Take a baby counter twist over to the right. And then bring both knees up towards the sky. Take a few relaxing twists from side to side. And then we'll take 90-90 with the right leg forward. So right leg parallel to whatever edge of the mat you're facing. Left leg out to the side. Arms up and melt down. Once again, trying to keep those hips square towards the front of the mat. Looking for a nice stretch in the right hip. Walking yourself up, bring the left knee into the sole of the right foot, arms up to goddess, and twist over to the right. Only coming as far as feels good in your spine and hips. Knowing that that might change by the day or the hour. And come back up onto the hands, walk yourself forward and take a baby counter twist over to the left. Before bringing both knees up, hug them into the chest and take a few rocks to massage out the spine. Before crossing your legs and lifting the hips, coming to downward dog. Pedaling out the heels and finding your happy spot in this pose. We'll hold for a few breaths. Inhale to the toes. Exhale, bring your feet to your hands. And then inhale, sweep the arms up towards the sky. Exhale, hands to heart center, Samastiti. We're gonna take 4 rounds of flow now. There'll be a lunge flow, so we'll be stepping back to the lunge. So it'll be fairly similar to our usual flows, except instead of going through the lowering to raising up into cobra, instead we're just going to step back to a lunge, downward dog, forward to a lunge. We'll do 2 times on each side. For the first one, we'll step our right foot back first. So hands by your sides, feet underneath your hips. Inhale, arms to the sky. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, step the right foot back. Arms come up to the sky. Exhale, plant the hands, step back to downward dog. Take a few breaths here. Next, inhale, step left foot to left thumb, right knee lowers, arms rise. Exhale, step right foot to left at the front of the mat and fold. Inhale, arms to the sky. Exhale, hands by your side, Samastiti. We're gonna do that same thing one more time, stepping the right foot back first again. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, right foot back, knee down, arms rise. Exhale, plant the hands, downward dog. Breathe here. Next, inhale, left foot comes forward, right knee lowers, arms rise. Exhale, both feet to the front of the mat and fold. Inhale, arms to the sky. Exhale, hands down by your sides. We've got 2 rounds left. Both times we're going to step the left foot back first. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, left knee back, leg back, knee down, arms rise. Exhale, step right foot to down dog. Breathe here. Inhale, right foot forward, left knee lowers, arms rise. Exhale, step to the front of the mat and fold. Inhale, arms to the sky. Exhale, hands by your sides. Last time, inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, left leg back, knee down, arms rise. Exhale, step right foot to down dog. Breathe here. Inhale, right foot to right thumb, left knee down, arms rise. Exhale to the front of the mat, fold forward. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, hands by your sides, and on your own breath, make your way to your forward fold, allowing the head to droop down and grow heavy, grabbing opposite elbows with opposite hands, and maybe swaying the hips side to side, a slight bend in the knees. Bending the knees as far as necessary to plant the hands on the floor. Slowly begin to straighten the left leg until you feel a comfortable stretch. Stretching out that IT band, opening up the backs of the legs, keeping the head heavy. And then bend the left knee again and slowly straighten the right, not locking the knee, just taking a gentle lengthening. And then bend both knees again. Bring your hands to your hips and stand up nice and tall. We'll come to our wide-legged posture now. Feet wider than the hips, toes turned out 45 degrees. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold. Maybe you grab opposite elbows to pull the torso down further. Or if the hands reach the floor, you can face fingertips towards toes and walk yourself back. Walk those hands back underneath the shoulders. Give the hips a slight shift from side to side. Bend the knees, letting them come over the toes so you're not knocking in, you're keeping those knees wide. And raising the torso so that you're coming to a squat, arms to goddess, nice and long. Spine tall, chin lifted. Inhale, stand up, reach over to the left. Exhale, come back down to the squat. Inhale over to the right. Exhale, squat. 2 more each side. And then you can either straighten or stay bent. Stretch the right arm up overhead and reach the left arm towards the right hip. So if you're standing up tall, it's like this. If you're still in the squat, either way, we're really working on a side body stretch here. And then switch sides. And then back through center, stand up tall. Bring the right toes in 45 degrees, left toes perpendicular to the front of the mat. Bend the left knee over the left ankle, arms towards the sky, warrior 1. Inhale, shoulders up to ears. Exhale, roll them down the back. And then straighten the left leg, fold forward. Maybe you come up onto blocks on the side to support yourself, or you can grasp the shin if the hands don't comfortably come to the floor, or the thigh or the hips. Really just finding a point of stability. Raising the chest up, bend the left knee back over the left ankle and come onto the ball of the right foot. So we're in our high lunge here. And then we'll lower that back knee down. Top of the foot comes to the floor. Option 1, hold here nice and tall, growing tall and then arcing back for the crescent. Option 2, right hand comes to the inside of the left foot. Left hand opens up to the sky for a spinal twist. Wherever you're at, let's hold for a couple of breaths. And then bring both hands towards the floor, leaning over the left thigh. Tuck the right toes. Lift the knee, step left foot back to right, down dog. perhaps pedaling out the feet. And then when you're ready, stepping right foot forward, left heel spirals down. Inhale, arms up, warrior one. Check on the shoulders, making sure they're away from the ears and that the hips are trying to be square with the front of the mat. And then straighten that right leg and fold over. My attic has been like the perfect degree for the past few days because it's been so cold, but it's a little warmer today and I'm feeling sweaty. Got hot up here. Spiral onto the toes of the left foot, bend the left knee down to the ground. Arms rise up, low lunge. Coming into the crescent, or placing the left hand on the inside of the right foot, opening the right arm to the sky. Lowering both hands down, tucking the left toes, step right foot back to left, down dog. And then lower the knees down, tuck the big toes together, sit hips back to heels for child's. We're gonna hold for 1 more minute in child's as we do more exercises, increasing the deep release of the body pressure. Relaxing the hips and opening the hip flexors. Beginning to deepen the breath here for the last few moments. Feeling the inhales, feeling the chest, ribs and belly. The exhales, emptying you completely of breath. And then peel the forehead off the mat, sitting back on the heels. Coming into thunderbolt. If you'd like to stretch out the soles of the feet, you can tuck the toes first. Inhale those arms up. Exhale, give yourself a hug with the right arm on top of left. So it's the equivalent of cow face, but with the elbows. So your elbows are stacked. And if it's comfortable, you can walk the hands closer together along the back. Just a moment here. And then arms out to a T, and give yourself a hug with the left arm on top of right. 1, because hugging yourself is important, and so is hugging others, but COVID. And 2, because it's a good stretch for your shoulders. And then release the arms out onto a T. Place the hands on the floor, lift the hips up, but come to a forward fold here. And then walk the hands up the body. Rolling the shoulders back, lifting the chin up, arms up to the sky, sitting the hips back for chair, making sure that you don't have a deep arc in the back. We're trying to keep a long spine here. Bring hands to the chest and twist left elbow towards right knee. Perhaps holding this twist. Maybe opening the arms. And you can always stand up straight if that feels better. We're really going for the spinal opening here. And then back through center and over to the left. through center, stand up nice and tall, and then sit back down to the chair and fold forward. Walking yourself up tall one more time. We're going to do a few more hip raises, but standing this time. So bring both feet under your hips, hands coming onto the hips. And you're going to lift the leg out to the side. The goal is only to bring it as high as you can with it staying out to the side instead of having to come forward. So even if it's just a couple inches, take about 5 leg lifts, working on the strength of the hip. A lot of people ask how to get into those like really Instagram-y yoga poses, and a lot of it is having that core and foundational strength, switching sides when you're ready. And the best way to avoid some of the muscle pain that comes from working out is strengthening our muscles and stretching, lots of stretching. And then both feet underneath you, lift the left leg up into the chest, hug it in nice and tight. And then see if you can open it to the left side. Your drishti, your gaze should be out straight in front of you. Find a focus point. Don't use your pet, they always move. And then cross the leg over to the right. This is the part where I probably fall. Maybe use a wall or a window, or have better balance than I do. And then hug that leg back in and lower it to the ground. Right leg up this time. Open to the right side. And then cross over to the left. If you're super balanced today, you can look over to the right. Mistakes were made. Mistakes. And then back through center, hug that leg in. And lowering it down. Take a few steps, shimmy your hips from side to side. And then make your way onto the floor. You can lie on your backs or sit up tall. We're gonna take reclining pigeon, which there's a few ways you can do. If you do it while seated, it's called figure 4, but it's essentially the same thing. So if you're seated, you place your hands behind your hips, cross your left ankle above your right knee, and then walk your hips and the ankle together until you feel a nice stretch in the left outer thigh and buttock. If you're on your back, same crossing, left ankle below right knee, but use your hands behind the right thigh to hug it in nice and close. And we're gonna hold for about 7 breaths here, a nice deep hip opener, knowing that you can release the legs down to the ground whenever you feel ready. Don't ever hold a stretch longer than is comfortable for you. And then bring your arms out to a T. And if you're laying on your back, you can release both legs over towards the right until you feel a nice stretch in the side of the left hip. Maybe it comes all the way down to the ground and you look over towards the left. And if you're seated up tall, you can gaze out to the opposite side or cross the left knee over the right and twist. And then bring everything back up to center. Both legs out long, give them a little shake. And then switch your setup. So right ankle above the left knee and hug it in close. 7 breaths. And then arms out to a T. You can begin to twist over to the left side. Looking out to the right. And then coming back through center. Both legs out. Hug the knees into your chest. Give yourself a few rocks. Coming to a seat. We're going to do some more of that yin stretching. Oftentimes as we switch seasons, our bodies have all of this stuff in them, you know, like it can be emotional and spiritual stuff. It can also be like pollen and allergies and colds and things like that. So we're going to do some deep stretches to release any tension. That way, hopefully we'll sleep a little better tonight, because when you get more sleep, you're less likely to get a cold, because sleep is important. So I'm going to pull up my timer, and then we're going to hold a series of stretches for 1 minute apiece. If you like doing things like this, yin yoga class is probably a great idea for you. So scooch the squishy parts of your bum out from underneath you so you can feel your hip bones. Flex those toes. Bring the arms up towards the sky. Grow nice and tall towards the ceiling, and then dive the chest forward, allowing the hands to fall either at the toes or on the floor. If you'd like a little bit more of a gentle, deep release, you can fold your blanket and squish it up by your tummy and allow yourself to release into the blanket. Placing your hands flat on the floor and beginning to walk the chest up. Walk the hands behind your hips. Arc the chest, look up and back, taking a little shoulder opener. And then walk yourself back up. Coming into butterfly. Soles of the feet touch. Hands can either be along the floor to pull the chest out long and down, or you can grasp the feet or the ankles. And stretching out long. Place your hands on your knees, bring them both together and up towards the sky. Press the palms into the outside of the knees, pulling the chest in, opening it out long. And then arcing the back, hug the knees. Send the left leg out long, right leg tucks into left thigh or back behind right buttock. Grow the arms up tall and fold forward. You can always fold the blanket under your chest or bring the hands to blocks, keeping that left foot flexed. Walking the hands back in, lifting the chest up, and switching sides. Walking the hands in, both legs out in front of you, and then bring them wide, like you're coming into your wide-legged forward fold. The closer together your legs are, the more room you'll have, the more openness in the hip flexors to fold out. If your hip flexors are feeling really open, you can bring them out wider. Maybe you come up onto fingertips, maybe you hold on a block or a bolster, or you come down to forearms. The important thing is to make sure that the toes don't curl in and the knees don't curl in. If you feel your knees tipping inwards, bring your legs a little closer together. Walk the hands in, grab underneath the knees, bend them up, bring them in. Place hands behind the hips and rock the knees from side to side. Sending your left leg long again, and your right leg is bent. Arms up to the sky, and then twist over to right, bringing left elbow to right knee, left hand behind left hip, or right elbow behind right hip. Inhale up tall, exhale to twist. And then release through center, taking a baby counter twist to the other side. Feeling that deep release in the back, maybe. And then bring the right leg out straight, left leg bends, arms up and twist. Bringing right elbow to left knee, left hand back behind left hip. I got it backwards last time, sorry. Lefts and rights are hard. And twisting through center, coming to a baby counter twist. And we've got one last pose with a couple of different options here. We can either come to up on the knees, and you can bring the hands to the mid-back, arc up and back like you're trying to draw the elbows together. The neck is long, not crunching, it's still engaged. Option one is here in our little half camel. Option two, you reach down towards blocks. Option three, you release down to the ankles or heels, keeping the neck engaged so that it doesn't droop. And see if you've got 3 to 5 breaths here, maybe 7 on a deep engaging day. This can be done seated or on the knees, and you can switch between the versions if at some point it becomes too much. Everyone crawling up when you're ready. Releasing the arms from the back, shifting the hips into place, tuck big toes together, sit hips back to heels, and then bring the arms alongside the shins and melt the forehead to the floor. Giving the hips a slight shift from side to side here. Rolling the head from temple to temple. And settle here for our last 1-minute posture, our final child's pose. Bringing the hands underneath the shoulders and pressing yourself up. And then sitting down and rocking yourself onto your back. Drawing knees into armpits and grabbing the pinky sides of the feet with the hands. Rock yourself side to side in happy baby. Taking any other last stretches or inversions your body needs before settling into your meditative posture of choice for Shavasana. We'll begin with a guided breathing exercise and then relax into silence. Releasing when you're ready. I'm just going to shift the music. I invite you to interlace your hands and bring them over your chest. We'll do a progressive breathing exercise where we slowly deepen the breath. In these times of transition, we often breathe shallowly into our chest, and so we're going to try to consciously deepen that first to the deeper into the lungs and rib cage, and then all the way into the belly. So the way this will work will be 3 breaths, stopping at the chest and exhaling, then 3 chest and ribs, then 3 chest, ribs, belly. I'll guide you the full way, but that way you know. Placing the hands over the heart, inhale to the hands, feel the chest rise. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Slide your hands down over the chest or the ribs. Inhaling, coming through the chest and filling the lungs. And exhale. Inhale, chest and ribs. And exhale. Last time here, inhale. And exhale. Sliding the hands down over the belly button. Inhale, feel the chest, ribs, and belly expand with the breath. Exhale, release. Inhale, chest, ribs, and belly. Exhale, release. Last time, inhale, chest, ribs, and belly. Exhale, release completely and allow the hands to fall towards the sides of the body. Palms open towards the sky. Inhales, drawing new breath in through the toes, carrying up through the legs and hips, swirling into the abdomen and chest, over the shoulders, until exhaling out, releasing through the arms and the fingertips, allowing this slow, deep pattern of inhalation and exhalation to continue as your inhales bring new energy and new breath into the body, and the exhales release that which no longer serves you. Just breathe. Bringing the conscious mind back to the breath, begin to wiggle the fingers and toes before rolling to your right side for a few more breaths in this space, your space. Pressing yourself up into a comfortable seat when you're ready, eyes closed or taking a soft gaze at the floor in front of you. Palms open on the lap or pressed together at heart center. Filling yourself with gratitude for coming to your practice today. Thank you for sharing your practice with me. By the mercy of my teachers, thank you for this past hour. It has been an absolute pleasure. I'm so grateful for each and every one of you.